Tonight on BoonTube, how to use EasyBib.com to create my sources, my citations for my Works Cited page. So I've always thought that this was cheating, but I went to a training a couple of years ago by professors from Chico State, and they said they let their students use this. So I'm going to let you use it. So I'm at EasyBib.com here, right in there. And I'm going to go to, I only want to create citations. And I have got information here. This is one of the sources I actually used in one of my earlier videos. This is from a journal, and so I don't want to just copy the information up here, although for websites that's what you do, and I'll show you how to do that. If you've gotten it from a journal, they actually give you a URL right here. And so I'm going to copy and paste. It's Control-C, or you can just right-click, copy link address, go back to EasyBib, and I've already selected here journal and MLA format. MLA 8 is the newest version, so I'm going to keep that as my selection. And I'm going to copy and paste here and click Cite. So then it's going to ask me, is this my source? And Journal of American History, Journal of American History. So yeah, that's the one that I want them to cite for me. So then I click Cite again. And it tells me all the information that it has found based on what MLA requires. And it looks like they've got all of the information in there, or pretty much all of it. There's something here we're going to have to add. But when you press continue, it will give you that option to add missing info that they couldn't find that maybe you have on your source card. So I go down and I notice that on the date they don't have the month. Well, when I go back to the website, I see right here, December. So I'm going to put that in there. In this drop down selection. And we're good. We've got all of everything else filled out. Series is inconsequential. That means it doesn't really matter. So I don't have to fill that in. And update citation. It does take a minute to come up with. Yay, you've created my citation. So I'm going to scroll down and you can see I did this earlier. Pretend like I didn't. And when you hover over it, you can copy bibliography citation. Bibliography is the old school word for Works Cited. So this is the one I want for my Works Cited page. So I click that, it has been copied, and now I go over to my document and I'm going to paste it there. Now when it pastes, typically it will not give you double space. So I have to go in and make it double space, make sure it's the same font as the rest of my paper, and Arial is the default font for Google Docs, but I know a lot of you are choosing Courier New because it's slightly larger, and it's my favorite anyway because it looks like a typewriter. And the default is also 11, but you want it to be 12-point font. Your whole entire paper, including your title, needs to be 12, so I click that. Now there's one more thing we've got to do that can be a little tricky, but usually if you do this the first time, it'll set up the rest of it the same way, and so you only have to do it once. To make sure that I know all of this information goes to the same source, I've got to change the margins. So I highlight the whole thing and I go up to my ruler here and I click the bottom arrow and I'm taking it over to 1 inch and let go. Now, there's one more thing to do. This top line here actually needs to be all the way over to the left-hand margin. So I highlight just that top line. I go back up to my ruler, and instead of clicking on the bottom arrow, I'm going to click the top bar where it says first line indent. And I move that back over to 0, or where the shading starts. And now my source is in there correctly, cited, and the formatting is correct. So if I have a website It's slightly easier than having to do a journal like this. One website I know a lot of you are using is history.com, and that is a good source. Even though it's a .com, it's still put together by professionals, and sometimes this doesn't work. Really jerk. Okay, so I go to it, and forgive all of the long times here. Sorry, I know that makes the video longer. But I'm going to copy this URL up here in the top, and I go back to EasyBib, and I create a new citation. This is from a website, so I need to change my source type to website. Paste and cite. It's gathering some information there, it says, and this is definitely the website that I just used, so I will cite it. Look at all that beautiful information it has right here, and it tells me I'm going to need help with the publisher or sponsor, and I'll tell you exactly what to put for history.com. So continue. Again, it's giving me this step to add the missing info. And I scroll down to any information I'm missing. And the author here, the way that they put it is that the author is history.com. I'm okay with that. Publisher sponsor, it looks like it found it on its own. A&E Television Networks. That is the large company that is responsible for history.com. So I'm ready to go. Complete citation. And of course, it's being created. Now here's the nice thing about EasyBib. If you scroll down, it has saved all of my citations. And so one thing you can do if you don't want to have to format it all at one time, or all differently, you just want to do it at one time, is you can select them and copy bibliography citation, and then you go to your page and you paste it, and it's actually already got that there. So see how we set up the formatting beforehand? Well, it's already set up for me, and this is perfect. The last thing you do want to make sure you do, though, after you get all of your sources on here, is put them in alphabetical order. And students always complain about having to do this. Alphabetical order is a part of living in the modern day world. So I'm just going to cut it, move this one down, and paste it. And now it's in alphabetical order by whatever this first name is here, which it's usually the last name, but in this case it says editors. So then we'll keep it just like that. And of course I want to make sure I title it Works Cited. And there's my Works Cited page. If you have any questions, please feel free to send me a remind or send me an email, and I can help you out with that. Good luck!